You are listening to the Maple Footy Podcast, the unofficial football podcast of the North. I'm your host, Sam Little. Find me on socials at SamLittle44 and the podcast at Maple Footy Pod. And now there's nothing left to say except for sit back, enjoy, and welcome to the show.
Hello, yes, welcome back to the Maple Footy Podcast. And today is another special day because we have another guest coming on to the show. Much like the other two, he is a member of Forge and one of their newest recruits. He's a youngster, and he has played quite the CV actually for someone who, at the time of recording this, is 19. Yeah, he's been to the UK with Fleetwood Town, then went to Dubai with their sister club, and has since, of course, signed with Hamilton's Forge FC. His name is Keito Lipovshek, and I am very grateful to have had him on the show. It was a great conversation. He had told me before we started recording that it was kind of his first sit-down interview like that, so I'm very happy that I got to be the one to do that. It was very cool, as I am also pretty new with interviewing professional athletes now, but yeah, it was really cool to get to be his first interviewer, I guess. But yeah, so he has a great CV behind him, as I just listed out. A couple more things about him is that he has actually won the Young Player of the Year at Fleetwood United FC, and has gained promotion from the UAE Division 2 up to Division 1. This is obviously before joining Forge, and has now joined Forge. So hopefully he will make his debut this Saturday as of recording this, as it will be Forge's home opener and season opener for the 2025 season. So it'd be really cool for him to check that off the list as well. Just another thing to have accomplished at such a young age. But yes, I'm very happy and very excited for you to hear this, and I do hope you enjoy it. So without wasting any more of your time and without any further ado, let's play this interview. Hello, welcome back to the Maple Footy Podcast. And sitting with me today is one of Forge's newest recruits. He comes in from Fleetwood Town, their sister club, and I'm very excited to have him here. His name is Keito Lipovshek, and thank you so much for coming on today.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And yeah, let's kind of get into this. Starting off with like the very beginning of your soccer career, what initially drew you to soccer over other sports here in Canada? Because we obviously have so many that you can choose from. So what was it about soccer that really stood out to you?
Yeah, so growing up, I grew up playing soccer and hockey, and I just loved being a competitive athlete, and just I think in Canada, soccer is growing, and
Mm.
just like the love of the game from a young age, I just found like it fun, like just being out there with my friends and
Yeah.
just playing. So yeah, that's how I loved it. So.
Good, good. And so obviously hockey is pretty big and you played hockey too. Was there a reason why you feel like you maybe excelled a little bit more at soccer, obviously now playing professionally, as opposed to like hockey, or was it just like more interested in soccer kind of thing?
Yeah, I was always like much better at soccer too. I
Yeah.
wasn't like a very good hockey player, but I enjoyed it for sure. And yeah, just I don't know, soccer just I was able to get better quicker, I guess, from a young age, and I think that also helped me love it more.
Good, good. And now that you're back in Canada, obviously you have spent some time over in Dubai and whatnot. Have you been able to come back and start skating again yet, or still not just yet?
Not yet, not yet. But I'm hoping so next winter for sure.
Good, good. And moving into the next one, how does an at the time a 16-year-old kid from Guelph, Ontario, find his way to the UK to start honing your craft with soccer?
Yeah, so I was training with a one-to-one trainer in Ancaster,
Hmm.
called Ian McClurg, and really like enjoyed that extra training. And he kind of like pushed me to go to Europe, and through Fleetwood Town, they have an international academy over there.
Hmm.
So he said like, why not try this for 3 months? And I was really up for it, and I
Yeah.
wanted to test myself overseas. So I was like, yeah, I'd love to. So I guess that's how that started.
I love that. That's so gutsy too, especially like you're 16, you're grade 11 or 10, 12, something like that at that point. That's so gutsy to like go out there and put yourself out there like that and to literally fly halfway across the world. So what's kind of going through your head when that opportunity comes up?
Yeah, I was nervous for sure, but
Yeah.
I was just really excited to, I guess, start my soccer journey. And yeah, I was really looking forward to it.
Yeah, and how did you find the adaptation process moving from Canada into the UK? Obviously, I'm sure it's quite different.
Yeah, for sure. Like the first week or so, it was a pretty big shock being away from my parents for the first time in my
Yeah.
life. So, but yeah, it kind of becomes like a new home. Everyone is really welcoming there. So the coaches and everyone, and just you make new teammates quick and then become friends with them off the pitch. And you're living with them every day too. So you get to know them really well. So yeah, it was nice. It was nice to settle in there.
Nice, that's awesome. And uh I know a lot of people like especially like younger players as well. They get like a foster family type thing. Was that kind of the case for you, or were you like bunking with some teammates?
Yeah, it was more like it was like a group house, and like it was called Digs, and like there was lots of players living together there, and we had like a house parent,
Mhm.
and yeah, it was really nice.
That's awesome. I'm sure that kind of helps you kind of, as you kind of touched upon already, kind of getting to make friends and kind of get into their culture a little bit quicker instead of like being away from only training and then going home kind of thing. You get to live with them a little bit and kind of actually like forge this bond.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It really helped me settle in.
Awesome. What are some differences you notice between the playing style of Canada to the play style of the UK?
Yeah, I'd say like the UK is really like transitional, like especially in like when I was in and around like the Fleetwood Town group, like they were in League One at the time, and
Mhm.
we'd go to watch their games on the weekend. It's just back and forth, back and forth. And I feel like since coming to Forge here, like they definitely want to keep the ball, and that's one thing I love about being at Forge is they want to play with the ball, not just kick it long and win the seconds. Just I really enjoy that about here. So
Yeah, so definitely more possession based, I guess, here as opposed to over there.
yeah,
That's very sick. And as a central midfielder as well, you got to kind of love that, right? Getting to kind of more opportunity to get on the ball, right?
yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And what's the conversation like after doing the work in the UK with Fleetwood and then going to their sister club in Dubai, again making a massive transition as well.
Yeah, yeah. So I got the opportunity to be with their under 21s for a preseason, and I loved it, and I thought and I did pretty well, and they were like, "Yeah, we'd love to just have you around the Fleetwood group, I guess." And they said we have a team in Dubai, and they just mentioned like would I be interested in going there and trying it, and it was like an opportunity to play some men's football for the first time in my life.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, why not try it? I've already been to England, so another new country, like you get to like I don't know, I like discovering like new places too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was all for it.
That's awesome. Sounds to me like you really like to like travel a little bit, huh? You go to England, go to Dubai. Now you're back in Canada, of course.
Yeah.
That's awesome though. I kind of love that, especially because you are like such a like of a young age, especially in terms of like soccer as well. To literally have now played in three different countries, I think that kind of speaks to some aspect of like fearlessness, I would say, and I really rate that honestly, just because you don't hear that every day of like 19 years old has been to UK, Dubai, now back to Canada. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And obviously soccer is important in the dream, but how important was it to also get your education as well whilst training with Fleetwood and then in Dubai as well with their educational program, Russell School?
Yeah, yeah. So I thought, especially for me and my parents, like being like finishing high school was definitely a conversation, and they're like, yeah, we think that's really important, and I
Mhm.
also agree with it. I think definitely finishing like high school and even being in like a new country doing high school, I thought would be a cool experience too. So
Mhm.
when I was able to go to the boarding school in the UK, like I learned a lot, and the football program there was good as well.
Yeah.
So I was able to live there and make more friends there and do my studies as well as continue playing soccer. So
Awesome. And what was it like having to balance like a highly intensive training as well as the schooling aspect of it all?
Yes, sometimes it was difficult, but
Mm,
I guess for me and my brain, it was like football came first. So I would always find a way to get the extra training in, but
mm.
I also stayed on top of my schoolwork and did pretty well in the end. So.
Good. There you go. You balanced it very well. And you noted in previous interview with playing with Fleetwood how much quicker the game was in the UK, and even how your first game there against the U18s didn't go great. Did you find yourself having to work a bit harder to adapt to the UK play style coming over from Canada?
Yeah, for sure. At the start, it was pretty difficult because everything was quicker pace, and I definitely at the start I felt behind, but as you train with them every day and you just learn to adapt to the speed of play, and then once you like one day it just clicks kind
Mhm.
of, and then you just feel much more confident in your abilities and you're just able to fit in well. So.
Yeah. So did you have to find yourself like maybe training a little bit extra, training a little bit harder even whilst trying to kind of play catch up in a sense?
Yeah, yeah. I'd always look to do extra work away from the pitch and like in the gym even and just becoming physically stronger because
Mhm.
I when I was younger I wasn't really the biggest.
Mhm.
So yeah, for sure in the gym and then also on the pitch, like working on my technique and just so then because the main gap I think was my decision making at the
Mhm.
time. So technically I could always improve more and once that was clean then the decision making comes with just experience in games. So
Yeah, and in terms of decision making, a lot of players do talk about decision making, how it has to be like quick, quick, quick kind of thing. How do you really improve on that? Obviously, there's like the consistency of training and everything, but how does one like have to improve on that, given that it's kind of one of those things where you just kind of have to pick it up?
yeah, I don't have like a perfect answer for this, but I think just lots of experience like
Mhm.
in high level matches and seeing new situations. I think like the best players in the world are able to make the right decisions the most amount of times.
Mhm.
So I just feel like being in a high level training environment every day helps a lot, and then high level matches for sure.
Awesome. And now, kind of a little bit more about like you and your play style. It's noted that you're quite two-footed, and that's pretty unique. Did that come to you naturally? Like, are you just naturally two-footed?
No,
No.
when I was younger, like a lot, even from like maybe under eights, like I would try to work on both feet technique, and
Mhm.
like my coaches really like helped me with that, and they said like, oh, if you can do it on both sides, like it's much more useful. So yeah, from a young age, I just continued to train on my right and left foot, and I feel like that really helped me. So
Awesome. Naturally right or naturally left?
naturally right.
Okay. And then moving into the next one here. As a central midfielder, there's a lot of great players that you can look up to. So who did you find yourself kind of taking inspiration and looking up to when you're kind of modeling your game?
Yes. Growing up, like I supported like Barcelona, like many kids, and I actually went there once when I was
Oh,
younger,
wow.
so which made me love the club even more.
Mhm.
So of course, like when you're young, you see like Xavi, Iniesta, all these guys, but then like when they signed Frankie de Jong, I thought it was a very exciting signing, and
Yeah.
I used to watch him a lot and tried to like learn different like how he drives with the ball or how he receives from the center backs and stuff. So I really like him.
Yeah. Oh, Frankie De Jong's quite the shout, actually. You don't really hear people bringing him up. I like that.
Yeah.
But did you get to see Messi play when you went to Barcelona?
Yeah, I did.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah. Dream come true.
That's awesome. And I've watched some of your highlight reels as well, and your style of play reminds me of that exciting talent that would bring the ball forward, kind of like a Frankie De Jong. And picking the ball up and really being a dynamic spark in the middle of the park, has that always been something that you've kind of gravitated towards of being an exciting type player?
Oh yeah, I just love like having the ball and like trying to like control the midfield maybe, but
Mhm.
like just it's being able to switch the play and just being able to do like as many things as I can, whether it's progress with the ball or switch the play or just anything. And even like defensively, I try to work hard and try to win the ball back. So just being like a complete midfielder, I think is important.
Awesome. And kind of piggybacking off of that, where would you say you're most comfortable in the center of the park as like a kind of 6, 8, 10? Where do you think like you excel the most?
I think as a number 8, but
Yeah.
honestly, I love all three
All of
positions
it.
and happy to play anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. And what do you thrive doing? Do you like the pressing, ball at your feet, taking on your man, sitting back, dictating play, kind of stuff like that? Where do you feel like you feel most comfortable with on the pitch?
I think just uh sometimes I don't know, I think it changes. Like
Yeah,
sometimes I like just holding back and being able to just switch the play, but sometimes like I like to receive the ball and try to drive and then play wide. So really whatever the game needs, I try to adapt. So
kind of like a chameleon, whatever the situation calls for, you can do it.
yeah, you could say that.
Yeah. And just kind of a little couple fun questions here. What's your go-to pregame hype song?
I don't really have one, but I don't know. I like Elton John. So I think
Really?
Rocket Man or something. Not really hype, but I don't know. I like that music.
Yeah, no, it's a great song. So like I'm not gonna knock that as your
Calms
hype
me
song.
down, I guess, and gets me in the zone.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I mean, hey, if it works for you and it helps you get like ready for the game, I mean, like that's all that matters, right?
Yeah.
And it is a great song. And what's your favorite kind of go-to cheat meal kind of thing? Like, Friday, you're rewarding yourself kind of thing.
Um, I don't know. I do like a nice pizza after a game,
Mhm.
but I try to stay away from it because, sometimes I eat too much. So
Yeah. Well, that's why it is a cheat meal, right? You gotta
I
treat
guess
yourself every now
once
and
in a
then, yeah.
while it's okay.
Yeah. And then kind of back into the soccer stuff now. Less than a week from Forge's home opener, season opener as well. How are you feeling? Like, are you feeling like excited, getting ready to go type thing?
Yeah, I'm really excited. I think the team is really, really good and just I feel like everyone's ready and we're all ready to for that first game. So really looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And on a personal note, what are some of your personal goals for this coming season? It doesn't have to be like winning a trophy or nothing like that. Just you personally, like, what's on your mind coming into this season?
Yeah, I'm hoping to make my debut this year and then just help the team as much as I can and like wherever we need like me to help in, I'll be there and I'll do whatever job is necessary.
Awesome. Awesome. And kind of starting with Forge, really, how did the opportunity with Forge come about, having been in England and Dubai for the last couple of years? Now a club so close to home comes in to sign you. Like, how'd that kind of come about?
Yeah, so I was in the UAE with a team and I don't know, I wasn't really enjoying it and I was speaking to my football agent and I think he knew the new assistant here
Mhm.
and he asked if uh, they thought that it would be possible for me to come over during Mexico, and then I guess it just all worked out in the end. So he was really lucky, to be honest, and I'm
Yeah.
really, really happy to be here.
Yeah, awesome. And what's been kind of the best part about being basically home, in a sense, since returning to Canada?
Yeah, obviously, like living back home again is really nice, and
Mhm.
seeing all my family and friends again is really important for me. But also, just even being home and playing with such good players every day, I think like what could be better than that? So.
Awesome. And being with Forge, an extremely successful club, uh, do you feel that winning mentality when you walk into the locker room and each day to day in training?
Yeah, for sure. Like from the first training session, I just saw like how good these players really are. And
Mhm.
even after training finished, they're doing extras and just they're all very disciplined and it's definitely a winning group here. So you can see why they've been so successful.
Awesome. And you're also no stranger to success yourself. You've won Young Player of the Year at Fleetwood United FC and gaining promotion into the UAE from the UAE Division 2 up to Division 1. And Forge, of course, no strangers to success. Do you think that makes you even hungrier for some success in this upcoming season?
Yeah, for sure. I just think I want to help the team as much as I can, even with in training, pushing guys or just to improve every day. And yeah, for sure, I'm really hoping that we can win the championship again this year.
Awesome. And being a young player, and we've already touched upon training so far. So being a young player around some great Canadian talent, uh, do you feel like you're a sponge kind of taking in all this new information and getting to learn and apply that to your own game?
Yeah, for sure. Like that's definitely been my favorite part is just asking the more experienced players questions every day, like how they improve and what they look for during the games. So I feel like that really helps me improve.
Yeah, and especially as a midfielder yourself, you have guys like Kyle Becker, Hajab Rapport, Tristan Borges kind of around you. Do you feel like they've kind of really helped you improve your game a little bit over these last couple weeks in training as well?
Yeah, for sure. And the best thing about it is they're willing to help and they want to help you improve. So
Mhm.
they're always open to me asking them questions and yeah, it's really good. So
That's awesome. That's awesome. Good to hear that it's a proper like team feeling atmosphere too. Everybody wants to help each other and improve in everything too as well.
yeah, it's great.
And now, since we've already touched upon this part as well, do you look forward to getting to play in front of your friends and family, so close to your hometown?
Yeah, for sure. I'm really looking forward to seeing all the Forge fans at the pitch here. So it's gonna be great.
Yeah, yeah. And now, of course, how excited are you getting to be back in Canada during such a historic time for Canadian soccer with the NSL starting up, CPL season, of course, about to start up again, World Cup on the horizon. How exciting is it to get to now kind of be back in Canada and get to be a part of that?
Yeah. I guess it's the perfect time to be back and yeah, just really hoping to help the team this year. So
Awesome. And how eager are you to get to step foot onto that pitch for the first time for Forge this season?
yeah, I can't wait to be honest.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, it's gonna be pretty awesome, right? Like from Guelph as well, and then coming into Hamilton's club, and now getting to hopefully very soon, maybe this weekend, getting to step onto the pitch as well. I think that would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, for sure. I'm really looking forward to it.
Amazing. And one final question for you here. What's something that you want the Forge faithful to know about you ahead of the upcoming season on Saturday?
I guess I'll do anything it takes for us to win, and I'll give my 100% every time. So
Amazing. And I think that kind of speaks to everything that we kind of talked about so far. You're going to do whatever it takes. I mean, of course, you've been to England, Dubai to work on your game. Now you're back in Canada, and now you are ready for the new season. And I'm really excited to see what you and Forge can do this season. So, all the best to you, Keito, in the upcoming season. I'll be at many games, so I look forward to watching you and Forge in this upcoming season.
all right, thanks, Sam. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for the time today.
No worries.
So yeah, that wraps up the interview with Keito Lipovshek. I am so happy that we got to do that. It was real fun to get to sit down and talk to him. I absolutely love interviewing the players. It's a whole ton of fun. And yeah, I just absolutely am extremely grateful to the players for, of course, setting that time aside for me and for the club, for Jesse, for allowing me to do it. So yes, thank yous all around to everyone. And thank you to you, of course, for listening to this. So I do hope that you enjoyed it as much as I did. And yeah, thank you so much. Of course, regular episodes will keep dropping over the next few weeks. Canadian Premier League starts up on the April 5th. And yeah, if you have a club in your area, I would highly suggest going to check out a game of theirs this season, or maybe subscribing to One Soccer, if you will. And of course, TSN is playing some select games throughout the month of April. So maybe if you're kind of on the fence about grabbing a subscribe for One Soccer, I would highly recommend watching TSN and maybe then seeing, okay, Canadian Premier League's kind of sick. And I don't think you'll regret it. So yes, once again, big time thank you to Keito, to Forge, and to you. So thank you so much. And until next time, cheers, everyone.
And that was your Maple Footy Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Check my socials for any and all future updates. Remember to support Canadian football, be kind, and until next time, live, laugh, little.